Hello, this is Dr. Katharina, and in this video, I want to share with you what the Vanishing Twin Syndrome is, how it can impact you emotionally and psychologically, and also physically, and then most importantly, how you can start to heal it. So, I have a few questions for you. Do you suffer from anxiety or depression? Do you feel like you're never good enough, regardless of what you do? You have low self-confidence. You are always striving for perfectionism. But most importantly, you are feeling like something or someone is missing. And what you fear the most is abandonment in relationship. Now, if that's the case for you, it is likely that you have actually experienced a vanishing twin syndrome. So now what is a vanishing twin syndrome? It's basically a pregnancy that started out as twins, but something happened to one of the twins with that twin dying. And so only one twin remains. And often this syndrome can happen or happens before the first ultrasound, which is usually performed in the 12th week of pregnancy, which means that the expecting mother doesn't even know that she carried twins. And often she only experiences like very unspecific symptoms like cramping or mild bleeding. So she doesn't know what's going on. Now, the interesting thing is this, that this vanishing twin syndrome has a very deep psychological impact on the surviving twin because they share a very, very deep connection with each other. They are actually so very much connected to each other that they can hear the heartbeat of the twin before they can hear the mother's heartbeat. So I want you to understand that they are actually, when they start to develop, right, they feel like they are one being. And then something happens. Maybe there's not enough oxygen supply or not enough nutrient supply to one of the twins, or maybe there is even a problem with the placenta or not enough room in the womb. Now, one of the twin dies. And when that happens, the remaining twin, the surviving twin, because they're so connected, it will feel everything the dying twin is going through. Terror, fear, and then of course the surviving twin will feel abandoned because where there was a very, very deep connection before, all that remains is emptiness and loneliness. Now, the issue is this, it is not as uncommon as people think. The exact numbers are not known because the ultrasound, as I said, is often not performed before the 12th week, but some experts estimated actually every fifth pregnancy goes through a vanishing twin syndrome, where other experts say it's much less common. But the issue is this, when you are the surviving twin and you have made this experience that is so deeply buried into your subconscious mind that you have long forgotten about it, right? But then usually what happens is that this is a very subconscious trauma that wants to be healed. And the surviving twin has usually this set of psychological patterns. That's why I asked you in the beginning if you experience anything like that, because often the surviving twin has an intense feeling of guilt. The twin, or she or he survived, and the other twin died, right? It's all subconscious. They often feel like they need to work extra hard in life because they don't really deserve to be here. They feel often anxieties and depression. They feel like they are somehow lost in this world. But the main thing is that they feel never complete or whole. They feel like something or someone is missing. And then what happens is that they are trying to, or they are actually reenacting this original trauma in an unconscious attempt to heal it. But what is not conscious can never be fully healed. So often what happens is that the surviving twin not only burns out because from too much work, trying to be perfect, but they are really trying also in a relationship to literally merge energetically and emotionally with the partner. They're trying to find this bond again that they had when they were in the womb. This creates a lot of problems usually in relationship, because when two people energetically merge, it can be very, very stressful, because all the patterns are going to be brought up, and the partner of a surviving twin often feels like they then don't have room to breathe. Because the surviving twin, what he or she fears the most is abandonment. So what they're going to do, they either give everything to a relationship just to not be abandoned again, or some of them also have this pattern where they are the ones to always leave the relationship because they want to feel in control, because they fear being abandoned again so much. And that's usually when they take the first step. Now, often these people are also risk takers, because at the very worst, right, they are trying to follow the twin back into the afterlife. And sometimes people who are really prone to, or who are attracted to these extreme sports, that they will do this. And surviving twins often, they suffer from addictions. Yeah, that's often also a sign. So this all sounds very negative, right? And it's really an issue for the surviving twins, because, as I said, they are trying to find the twin again, but they don't know it, that they want to reenact it, they want to merge again. But they also have very positive traits. Yeah, they are very much attuned to other people. They can be super empathic or intuitive. They know what the other person needs and wants. So often they are actually found in the helping professions, because that's their natural skill. So let's talk a little bit about the physical impact. Yeah, we talked about the emotional impacts of this trauma, but there are also physical impacts that can happen. And some of the experts, they say that they think that cerebral palsy is actually connected to the vanishing twin syndrome, where when the twin dies, that the surviving twin redirects blood from shared blood vessels through the placenta to the dying twin, and then there is a sudden loss of blood pressure within the central nervous system of the surviving twin, which some experts think it can be connected to cerebral palsy. Now, the other thing that I found was also very interesting is that some experts think that even autoimmune issues can start in the womb, because when the twin dies, what happens is that the remaining tissue of the twin is either absorbed through the uterus, or it can also be absorbed, or at least parts of it, into the surviving twin. Now, if these are not identical twins, then the twins have two different sets of DNA. And what can happen is that the surviving twin, when he or she absorbs tissue from the dying twin, can actually incorporate the DNA of the dying twin into their own body, which then often is recognized as foreign from the immune system. So I found this interesting, that even autoimmune illnesses can actually start there. Now, let's talk a little bit about how you can actually heal the vanishing twin syndrome. As I said, usually it's so subconscious and people don't know about it, that they don't know where all the symptoms they have or the feelings they experience comes from. And that's why I think educating you about this topic, was my goal here for this video, is that you hear about the vanishing twin syndrome. Because usually what happens is when people hear it the first time, they can actually connect to it. They feel like, oh, now suddenly I know how I feel the way I feel. Yeah. Some people also, what they do is they use their subconscious mind to give them more answers. They ask themselves before they go to bed, please, subconscious mind, help me figure this out. Why do I feel the way I feel? And they could even ask, or you could do the same if you do this, to ask your subconscious mind, did I actually suffer from a vanishing twin syndrome? But as I said, often when you experience the vanishing twin syndrome and you hear about it the first time, a light bulb goes on, yeah, and you feel like, wow, now suddenly I have found some answers. So how can you start healing the vanishing twin syndrome? Well, of course, you cannot change the past, right? What happened, happened. But you can always change the way you feel about it. And that's where energy healing comes into play. That's where also a skilled intuitive healer can come into play and affirm that you've suffered from a vanishing twin syndrome. But as you know, I really like energy healing, and I want to give you some tips here on how you can actually start to heal it. Because I want you to understand one thing. When you have suffered from a vanishing twin syndrome, you will not feel fully whole and complete in your life if you don't connect energetically to the energy of the surviving twin. Now, your twin is not in physical form anymore, but you're always connected to his or her energy, and you actually need this connection. But often, because of the trauma energy, you cannot fully feel it. And so that's where, of course, these energy healing techniques like tapping or EFT to start removing underlying emotions is really, really helpful. But what I also found really helpful is a specific visualization technique that I use with my clients that helps you connect back to the energy of the twin. And you can get this audio for free. It's a guided visualization that I've recorded for you that you can download or go to the end of this page, or if you watch this on YouTube, just see the link in the description. And when you use this audio, it's the first step here to help you connect energetically to your twin. So please give this a try. Now, the people I've worked with and I've shared this guided visualization with, and when they established this connection, they really felt the shift. And often what they told me is that they feel like the vanishing twin is almost like a spiritual guide for them, or even a guardian angel. And I've explained this also in this guided visualization that you can download for free. I would suggest that you try it out. Now, the other thing that I think is really important is to create some type of space for your vanished twin in your home. Now, that might sound a little bit strange to you, but it is all part of the family dynamics, and the vanished twin is actually part of your family. So when you create a space for your twin, of course, this is symbolically, yeah? So you could use like some flowers, or you could use a picture or a painting, something that reminds you of your twin. And you use this picture or painting in a sense that whenever you see it, you think about your vanished twin. Then you also help to integrate this energy back into your life. Because remember, healing means to make whole again. And that's exactly what you do when you connect to your vanished twin and give your twin the room also in your house. Well, this was it for today. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave some comments. Thank you and bye-bye.